Okay, so today, mid-segments. This unit, we look at special segments and triangles. That's kind of the theme of this unit. Is special segments. Guys, hey, we're going. The idea is special segments and triangles, and there are basically 5 or 6 different special segments we're going to be looking at. Each one on its own is not bad. What gets tricky is remembering, all the names and all the properties for each name. So you got to kind of consolidate the information, and this is where, again, these note cards you're making may be coming in handy. So like for today, you would draw a picture like this on one side of the note card, and the other side you'd write what that is. That is a mid-segment. Mid-segments connect the midpoints of the sides. So that's the midpoint of that side. F is the midpoint of BC, and D is the midpoint of AC. So they're all midpoints, hence the name mid-segments. They're in the middle. The second property for a mid-segment, besides being midpoints, is the lengths are 1/2 the length of the parallel side. So if this side is 10, then this has to be 20. Or if this side, say, was 16, then this would have to be 8. We could even do an odd number here. Let's say that was 17, then this would be 8.5. So, even so, and even more so, what gets even more interesting at this point is that, well, if this is 20, but this is the midpoint, that means this is 10 and this is 10, right? And if this is 16, but that's the midpoint, that means this is 8 and this is 8. And same thing here. If that's a midpoint here, that's 8.5 and that's 8.5. And the one thing you should quickly notice is that all of these triangles individually are congruent to each other by side, 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 because they all have the same side lengths. So mid-segments break the triangle into 4 congruent triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that could be true.
Yeah, it's a triangle. So, that's the idea. Now, this one, of course, is flipped and reversed, but that's okay.
Because it's space.
It's not space, it's a triangle. So that's what mid-segments do, and really, that's pretty easy. Mid-segments are pretty straightforward. They are not complicated. And most of the work we do with mid-segments is not complicated. The worst thing we have to do is set up equations where something is double something else or half of something else. And there it is tricky because you always have to make sure you multiply the smaller one by 2, not the longer one. The smaller one's always the one that gets multiplied by 2. Or you can multiply the longer one by 1/2. It's up to you. Most people choose to multiply by 2 instead. And here, in this triangle it says AB is 20, DE is 3, and EF is 7.5. Find the perimeter of triangle ABC, so the perimeter of the outer triangle. So AB is 20. Well, we've got that side. DE is 3. If DE is 3, how long is CB going? Okay. EF is 7.5, so how long is this going to be? 15. So the perimeter of ABC would be 20 plus 15 plus 6, which would be 41. Okay. What would the perimeter of DEF be? Well, first you have to find FD is going to have to be how long? How long is FD? 10, half the length of the parallel side. So 10. So if I add these up, perimeter of ABF or DEF is 20.5, which is exactly half the perimeter of the outer triangle, just like it's that same double half thing. Okay? It's that same half the length relationship we saw before. So it's not just for sides, but also for perimeters. Because perimeters are sums of sides, so it kind of makes sense. Okay? Next level problem. So that gets us basically through what's a level 2 problem. Your next level problem in level 3s tend to be something like this, where we have to set up an equation. AB is 5x minus 10. And we label it, so I know what I've got. And YZ is 2x plus 1. Now, here when I set up my equation, I do have to be careful. They aren't equal to each other. 5x minus 10 and 2x plus 1. They aren't equal. One is twice as much as the other, but I multiply the shorter one by 2, right? If I multiplied the longer one by 2, it's now it's going to be 4 times as long, isn't it? So which one are we going to multiply by 2, the 5x minus 10 or the 2x plus 1? Which one gets the 2? The 2x plus 1, because it's a shorter one. Then we have to distribute and solve. And we subtract the 4x, add the 10, and I get x equals 12. Once I found the value of x, then I can figure out that this is going to be 24 plus 1, or this is going to be 25. This is 5 times 12, which is 60 minus 10, or 50. And sure enough, this is twice as long as that. It worked out. So we can check our answer pretty easily. Well, like I said, the biggest problem people have a tendency to have here is they multiply the wrong. They say, oh, this one's twice as long, so they multiply that one by 2. Well, if it's already twice as long and you multiply it by 2, you're only making it bigger, right? You're not helping matters here. You're making it worse. You're taking it further away from being equal. We always multiply the shorter one by 2. That's the easiest way to think about it. Multiply the shorter one by 2. And when you look at the homework that we have in this section, that's really about what we're doing. It's not that much. We aren't doing the coordinate proof thing. We've already done coordinate proofs. We're kind of skipping that part of things. So we may come back to that, but for now we're skipping. So let me make sure that the assignment is correct. Is still uploading. 95% processed. Okay, so it's almost done. Let's go to my page and geometry homework. I'm just going to double check the assignment. Notice that we have the new assignment sheet up here. We do have a benchmark already on Monday for Unit E, because we only do 2 sections. We've just done one of them. It's not that rough. So we do have a benchmark next week, Monday. If you're going to be gone because you're chasing Bambi around or for whatever reason, you probably want to take that before you leave. Next one is the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. The Tuesday after that is the next benchmark, and we do have a unit test Friday the 13th. That'll be fun.
Bambi's mom does get shot.
Bambi is the boss. When he grows up, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, but where are you going to
He's gonna be dead.
You just got to hang out with me. I just go to church and they jump in at me. So
That's a donut, isn't it?
no, that was a buck. 6 point.
Are those just-
Yeah, he's a nice little 6 point. So
Where'd you find him at? Shooting?
You're so
he jumped in the library with me. Jumped through the window and tried to get me.
So his throat, or what'd you do?
Just closed the door and let the cops come shoot it. Actually, they tranquilized it and then euthanized it, mainly. 2 weeks ago,
What do you mean they tranquilize?
at church in Janesville. Yeah, that was me in the library with my kids. Yeah. Deer attacked me.
Church in a library.
Because it's got books.
Yeah, books. Yeah, lots of books in the library.
There's a lot.
All right, so 1 through 11 is correct, and 24 through 28 is correct. 28 is going to be a little bit interesting. 28 does use the coordinate plane, and I'm going to want, and here's a little hint. I'm going to give you the midpoints. Okay? So for 28, we are doing just one coordinate plane problem here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the midpoints of the sides. All right, so let's say these are my three midpoints. You have to draw the triangle that goes around that. That's the mid-segment triangle. You have to draw a triangle. Here's your hint. It's simple. You just use slopes. The side opposite this one has to be parallel and twice as long. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. So from here, and it's vertical. So I go down 4. It's hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My orientation is off. This side is down 2 over 4. So I'm going to go down 2 from here over 4. Sure enough, that gets me here. Then go down 2 more, over 4 more, and there's my outer triangle. It's just slopes. It's just slopes. So you need graph paper for that. You need a little bit of graph paper, but it's just really counting squares. That's all you have to do. There's no calculation involved. It's just a matter of counting squares. So, yep, that's it. And your assignment is, then bring your book with you to class. I don't have my book as not an excuse. I'm going to be expecting to be working. Okay? Right there. You couldn't have, because I just posted an hour ago.